It says, boyhood pal of Chicago drill rapper Lil Zay Osama snitched about Winnetka home invasion, Fed say. The person who cooperated admitted to hearing a conversation about the robbery between Osama and Jalen Chambers, his cameraman. You robbing people with your cameraman?
Stupid.
What the fuck? After getting inside, the crew member who cooperated told authorities he grew up with Lil Zay Osama, recognized his voice, and could hear Chambers saying the name Zay, a name Osama goes by, over the phone, prosecutor said.
FBI, open up!
It's not looking good for Lil Zay Osama, man.
Help!
That nigga getting snitched. I told y'all they was gonna snitch on his ass. I told y'all. That's why I was listening, man. Mula. Man, you don't know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about, nigga. You don't know what you're talking about, nigga. I know what I'm talking about, nigga. Do your homework. I'm like a genie, folks. I'm like a genie. They just, you feel me? I just get the answers, folks. Lil Zay Osama is getting snitched on by his co-defendants in the robbery case already. It's been like 4 days.
On or about March 8, 2026, while inside the residence, Kyle Dukes received a call on a cellular phone from one of the other co-conspirators inside the residence during the robbery and kidnapping. On or about March 8, 2026, Brown, Franklin, Chambers, and 2 other co-conspirators fled from the residence in a stolen vehicle. On or about March 8, 2026, after fleeing from the residence, Brown, Franklin, Chambers, and additional co-conspirators met up with Isaiah Dukes, Kyle Dukes, Ramsey, and additional co-conspirators who searched Brown, Franklin, and additional co-conspirators in order to ensure that all the proceeds of the robbery were collected. It's funny, right? We can get the indictment, but we can't get the superseding indictment. This is what pops up when you try to get the freaking superseding indictment. And y'all know, just like we showed y'all in the Pooh Shiesty case, there's always a superseding indictment, which has a lot of details. But the fact that
this is a fair case now. Don't get it fucked up or misconstrued. This is a federal case now.
I think don't know these details.
I'm pretty sure
are basically red flags saying rat, rat, snitch, snitch, rat, rat. Because it says sealed documents are no longer available in CM/ECF or via Pacer. Please contact the court directly to request access to the document, which basically means if you ain't a lawyer, bro,
snitching up
hell no. For thine eyes may they only be, for the public you cannot see. And then it says reference for court use only, and it talks about all that shit right there. But obviously, we're not going to read that. But yeah, this right here basically screams snitch, snitch, snitch. And don't worry, we have more proof of that. Shout out to Spade TV. And right here, as of yesterday, right? Because this is who it all started with, was Deshaun Brown. He's the first one that you see on the freaking indictment. And don't worry, I'll show you the proof of it. I'm not saying he's the one telling, of course, but I'm saying it all started with him. Y'all see at the top part where it says file 5526, page 101, United States District Court for the Northern District of Illinois, Eastern Division, notification of docket entry. This docket entry was made by the clerk on Tuesday, May 5th, 2026. Minute entry before the Honorable E.N.D. Johnson as to Deshaun Brown, David Franklin, Anthony Ramsey, Isaiah Dukes, Kyle Dukes.
Isaiah Dukes is Lil Zay Osama. Kyle Dukes is his brother.
Jalen Chambers, telephonic status hearing set for June 2nd, 2026 at 9 a.m. The defendants will be made available by way of U.S. Marshals. The call-in number, whatever the hell it is, we're not going to do all that, access code, whatever. Persons granted remote access to proceedings are reminded of the general prohibition against, photographing, recording, and rebroadcasting of court proceedings. Violation of these prohibitions may result in sanctions. Attention! The notice is being sent pursuant to Rule 77D of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure or Rule 49C of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure. It was granted by CM/ECF, the automated docket system used to maintain the civil and criminal dockets of this district. If a minute order or other document is enclosed, please refer to it for additional information.
Y'all always ask me to show y'all exactly how to get rich on YouTube, so I made a full-blown course. It's not complete yet, but you can order it right now. There's 5 hours of content in it right now. It'll be like 12 or 15-hour full course once it's done. It'll be done by April 1st, all right? So click the link in the description, get your course, and start learning how to really get rich on YouTube. I'm not just no one-hit wonder type guy. No, I have more than 40 channels that make me hundreds of thousands of dollars all together every single month. Like, I'm checking straight bags off of this, just sitting in my crib,
recording, making videos. So if you want to learn exactly how I do it, I'm showing you how to clip farm, how to edit, how to upload, how to make thumbnails, how to develop your character, how to make shorts, how to make clips, right? I'm giving you every piece of every single type of strategy that you will ever need to get rich on YouTube. So click that link. It's not a super cheap course, but it ain't expensive. It's only $150. And if you use the code MACMULA, you could get 20% off of that $150. So go get you some money.
Developing now, a seventh person is arrested in a violent home invasion in Winnetka.
And one of them turned out to be a Chicago
That's
rapper.
what
We're checking back in with Say Kwan, who is live at the Dirksen Federal Courthouse with more on this. Say?
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, those 6 men, all between the ages of 22 and 30, have now been indicted on charges of conspiracy to commit robbery and kidnapping. A 7th man, as you mentioned, was also just arrested yesterday, and prosecutors are saying a criminal complaint is expected to be filed for his alleged role in that home invasion as well. According to this indictment, guys, one of the suspects posed as a food delivery driver to get someone who was inside their home to open up the front door.
They thought they was being smart as hell. Hey, go up there, act like you're doing DoorDash. Who the fuck opens up DoorDash when you didn't? Who opens up for a DoorDash delivery driver when you didn't order DoorDash? The fuck?
That is when investigators say the other men, who were armed with loaded guns, forced their way in. The victim was held at gunpoint for about an hour, physically restrained, while the suspects demanded access to a safe, a computer, and even cryptocurrency accounts. Shortly after, authorities say the group took off, then met up with other alleged co-conspirators to split up their shares. Now, as you mentioned, we have learned one of the people charged is Isaiah Dukes, who some people may know as Chicago rapper Lil Zay Osama, who now lives in Los Angeles. Fox Chicago has actually interviewed him, and this was last November, after offering to help out a local mom and her young son after they were brutally attacked by a group of kids in Chicago. So far, all 6 men have pleaded not guilty. They will remain in custody pending trial. The 7th person arrested is also expected to face federal charges pretty soon here. Now, if convicted, the alleged suspects could face decades in prison, including possible life sentences for kidnapping charges. Guys,
cool.
Say, I know this is a lot of information, but do we know how police found these suspects?
Well, the interesting thing is, you know, we heard from the U.S. Attorney's Office, and they say that this very much moved pretty quickly here. They were actually able to secure arrest warrants within 12 days of that home invasion. And, you know, I was out in Winnetka last month to cover this home invasion, guys, and I remember hearing directly from local police there that these men were masked. So even after those arrest warrants were obtained, they kind of kept them sealed while they were working to identify everyone. We do know this was definitely not like a one-man job, right? We know multiple agencies were a part of tracking down this group, like the ATF, the FBI, but also, of course, several police departments in the area, including Winnetka, Chicago, Glencoe, Northbrook, and Orland Park. Guys, I'll toss things back to you.
Say, thank you for your report.
Then this crazy paragraph from Spade TV dropped, and it all got we normally somebody see objective as people enjoy. CSI was involved in.
Now we got the breaker of the CS1 was involved in the subject offenses and provided information to agents on the day of his arrest in the hopes that such cooperation will result in favorable charging, release, and or sentencing recommendations by the government. That included providing consent for the agents to search CS1's phone, which was recovered in connection with CS1's arrest. CS1 has prior felony convictions, and CS1 is aware that his or her involvement in the violent offenses set forth against violates conditions of court supervision. CS1 has been charged in federal court with commission of the subject offenses. On March 27, 2026, CS1 provided additional information to law enforcement pursuant to a proffer letter agreement. FBI, open up! So if you think that them niggas is about to go do 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years for Lil Zay Osama, your ass is
Stupid.
weirdo. Something wrong with you, shorty. I'm from the grade. Y'all niggas is slow. It's something wrong with you goofies.
It's something wrong with you goofies. My name is Lil Zay Osama, and my CEO, Lil Durk, is locked up for murder, so I might as well go ahead and crash out with him. Let's go rob a white boy in the suburbs for some crypto. Big gangster.
Stupid motherfucker. Y'all ass is dumb.
Help!
Dumb. Go ahead, go to jail, folks. I wouldn't be surprised that the snitch was Lil Zay Osama. Do your homework.
Release it. Wrong. They come to me when it's get I'll just break F over. So y'all want to know what happened and all this shit and everything, and I'll just break the news because it's gonna come out when the trial starts. Y'all finna be like, "Damn, Nash, bro, you maybe should have made the complex list." Screw complex. Let me give y'all who they robbed. I'm not gonna show y'all their Instagram or nothing like that because then I'll be obstructed and all this shit and witness intimidation, blah blah blah. So I know the feds will be. Mr. Nash, we finally got your ass. So let's do it this way. Zay Osama had some cool people that were in California, right?
Right.
He was messing with them and all that and all this shit and everything. 2 white dudes, cooler than the other side of the pillow, got their bread and everything.
Right.
People don't know this. They stayed in Illinois as well. So they've been knowing Zay Osama for years.
Right.
But one thing Zay Osama's slow self didn't understand was this. Bruh, they were smarter than you from the jump. You just were more aggressive than them. So the money that they used to show Zay Osama was not in physical form. It was in electronic shit.
Right.
Zay Osama thought to himself, oh shit, Shorty and them got their money, blah, blah, blah. So these dudes had millions in cryptocurrency. Zay Osama decides to concoct a plan when these dudes basically get to Illinois.
So Lil Zay Osama put his homies and the niggas from his gang on a dummy mission, basically.
And they chilling in they shit.
No, so not, hey, you can go make some beats or you can go get, I don't know, what's it called? A fucking job. You can learn how to make beats and make beats for me and Lil Durk and this person and that other rapper that I know. You can stream and I could be on your streams. You can run up some money. None of them ideas. Nah, you can go rob some crypto white boys that I met in LA and go to the fucking feds for it. Like,
Zay
stupid.
Basically set this whole shit in motion. Like, bruh, let's try to steal and all this shit. So the money that they have is cryptocurrency money. It's actually not the money that y'all think. And it wasn't that $500,000 that y'all thinking. They were trying to put millions in a damn account, but they couldn't do it. It couldn't be processed. So the cryptocurrency that Zay Osama and them tried to steal.
That's all they could get.
That shit right there is what they try to do. They try to convert millions and put it all over and all this shit, and that's why they done. See, sometimes with the money and all that shit and everything, dollar bills and all that, you're going to require certain things that you're going to need, right? Like, oh, my bank account was this, and now it's this. Oh, here's these statements, and now this is the new statement. Or, you know, ATMs and dare I say, going into freaking bank tellers and having your face, all this shit. And then you have videos out there on the cars. Like, that stuff typically exists. But in this instance, bruh, what they were trying to do was transfer over money. So
they got like $300,000-$400,000, right? Or like $100,000.
Bruh, I don't know when he gonna be getting out.
Never will.
But it ain't gonna be no time soon.
Never
He
will.
gonna miss about a quarter worth of his life because he been faking it and broke the whole time.
Yeah,
He'll be on drugs,
That's
on
what
a bunch
it is.
of shit. I'm surprised he ain't go down for other shit that's been going on. But this is the one that's gonna get him gone, I guess. But it don't stop the shit with him stealing stuff and all this stuff in Cali. That stuff is still on the docket. But as it stand right now, Zay Osama's screwed. And the people who gonna snitch, they already knew he was done.
Right.
They knew that damn near when they left out the house.
I knew he was gonna get snitched.
The funnier part is who else gonna get off the ride? Because if they know that this fool is done and they all know that they done, it's gonna be all for one and none for all. But hey, it is what it is. Sure to keep your people aware, subscribe, turn on bells to notify, and I'll catch you on the next one. Click right here or right here. No, I'm lying. Hold on.
It says boyhood pal of Chicago drill rapper Lil Zay Osama snitched about Winnetka home invasion, feds say. Pal, who cooperated with feds, is unnamed. Tyrese Fenton Watson, 23, of Chicago, The 7th person charged in March 8th invasion faces robbery and kidnapping charges, according to the U.S. Attorney Andrew Boutros' office. So Lil Zay Osama, homie, is snitching. They not saying who is snitching yet. We gonna find that out in trial or probably later throughout the case. But somebody snitching. Right after the 7th person got arrested. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was the 7th person that got arrested. Or maybe the driver or the DoorDash delivery man. You feel me? It probably is not gonna be Lil Zay Osama, because the way the feds work, especially in Chicago, and I told y'all the feds was gonna come to Chicago and do a whole big ass sweep, but didn't nobody want to hear me last year when I said that. But anyway, the feds want the rapper, bro. It's just like the Young Thug trial. Young Thug ain't necessarily get charged with no shootings or no murders. He got charged with being the boss. You see what I'm saying? And so obviously Lil Zay Osama is the one that put this together, because he's the only person that knew the people who they robbed. None of these other nincompoop, stanky ass hood gangbanging goofies knew a nigga with some money from LA. They didn't know that. Only Lil Zay knew that. So he's obviously the gang boss, right? So charges were announced on the 7th person, Tyrese Benson Watson. He's 23. He was arrested April 28th and faces robbery and kidnapping charges in the home invasion, according to U.S. Attorney Andrew Boutros. The person who cooperated admitted to hearing a conversation about the robbery between Osama and Jalen Chambers, his cameraman. This nigga, you robbing people with your cameraman? Stupid. What the fuck? While on their way to the home, according to federal prosecutors, he was arrested March 20th. After getting inside, the crew member who cooperated told authorities he grew up with Lil Zay Osama, recognized his voice, and could hear Chambers saying the name Zay, a name Osama goes by, over the phone, prosecutors said. The 28-year-old Zay Osama, whose real name is Isaiah Dukes, is among 6 others facing the same charges. 3 other Chicago men were also charged. They are Deshaun Brown, David Franklin, Anthony Ramsey, and Khalil Dukes, which is Lil Zay Osama's brother. Prosecutors say Brown posed as a food delivery driver, prompted someone inside the Winnetka home to open the door. That's when Brown, Franklin, and Chambers allegedly forced their way inside, armed with loaded firearms. The feds say 2 unidentified co-conspirators joined them. The intruders allegedly held the victims captive for an hour and used firearms to physically restrain the victims. They also allegedly demanded access to the safe, computer, and online access accounts at gunpoint. Eventually, the intruders fled the home and met up with Lil Zay Osama, his brother, and Ramsey, who conducted a search to make sure all of the robbery proceeds were collected. New details were released by federal prosecutors, including that Osama and the others were in the area at the time of the robbery and were seen at Elgin Hotel hours earlier. So these dumb motherfuckers went to the suburbs with them. So that means you were seeing Elgin. Elgin is another place in Illinois that's like far as hell in the suburbs. So you went to the Elgin Hotel, you were seen there, and you thought you was gonna rob these white. What the fuck is wrong? It's like Pooh Shiesty just activated all his crash out minions to just start doing all type of stupid shit. As soon as Pooh Shiesty did his Thug Deezer, you had Offset getting shot by Lil TJ. You got Lil Zay Osama crashing out. It's everybody just tweaking, shorty. Additionally, 3 Rolex watches and a laptop. I told you, it's Pooh Shiesty. Y'all niggas think y'all Pooh Shiesty. Okay, you gonna get the same shit his dumb ass got. 3 Rolex watches and a laptop belonging to the victim, who wasn't home at the time of the invasion, were all taken from that person, who owns a cryptocurrency business based outside of Illinois but works out in Winnetka, according to a criminal complaint. Also key to the investigation was surveillance footage that captured a black Acura RDX with black rims, dirt on the sides and rear, a blue sticker at the bottom of the driver windshield, and no license plate, pull into and leave the driveway at home. 3 days later, the Acura, which was reported stolen, was found in the 600 block of West Garfield Boulevard in Chicago's Back of the Yards neighborhood. These dumb motherfuckers took the car, robbed the nigga, and then dropped it off in Back of the Yards. What the fuck? Lil Zay Osama and Ramsey were angry with the other intruders because the robbery didn't go as planned. It didn't go as planned because they wanted a whole bunch of money, but these is dumbass hood niggas, right? So they don't know how to transfer no fucking cryptocurrency. They probably over here tweaking and geeking, barely know how to tap dance, and you know what I'm saying? So they probably didn't know what the fuck was going on. And they left because they got scared. Like, we was here for an hour, man. We got to go. So they left. They met up with Lil Zay Osama. And Lil Zay Osama was like, nigga, we supposed to get 2-3 million. Y'all came back with 100 racks. So obviously somebody who was there at these meetings is the one snitching if they got all this information. The rapper's defense attorney, Michael Clancy, said Osama is hoping to get to trial as soon as possible. Yeah, he hoping to get sentenced as soon as possible. My client was not present at the robbery, and he did not set up this robbery. That ain't gonna be what the snitch saying. See, that's what y'all got it for. I knew as soon as I learned that it was 6 or 7 people on this case, 3, 4 of them gonna snitch. But for sure, at least one of them gonna snitch. For sure, ski. It's just about who gonna be the first to snitch. Because, see, the feds don't need 3, 4 snitches. They just need 1, maybe 2. They got the witnesses. They got the victims. That's the first snitch. Not really snitch, but they got the victim's testimony. Then they gonna get the inside man. They gonna get a snitch, shorty. They gonna get a snitch. Osama has faced federal trouble before. A federal judge in Brooklyn sentenced him in 2024 to 14 months in prison after he pled guilty to a possession of a machine gun case. So he's fucked, basically. He's cooked turkey. We will see you in about 35, 45 years. Lil Zay, dumbass.